Title: I betrayed my loving husband, and now he resents me. Even though I enjoyed the thrill of it, I have always loved and continue to love my husband. I would never have left him for my affair partner, AP. My husband is an incredible man, but he was always caught up with work and wasn't giving me any attention, so I sought comfort elsewhere. Hi everybody! I'm leading a goal of 100,000 subscribers by the end of the year, and I truly believe we can achieve it together. So if you could hit that subscribe button, it would really mean a lot to me. Now, let's dive into the story. The husband has been out of jail for 5 months following an assault on the AP. A few videos ago, we covered a story similar to this one, and the comments were filled with sadness. If you missed it, I'll link it in the cards, so make sure to watch it after this one. I'll also add the link in the description. To summarize, a husband returns home to find his wife with the AP. He tries to confront the AP but ends up badly beaten. I was searching for an update on that story when I came across this one. If you know of any updates, please share them in the comments below. Let's get into this story. She starts by saying she was looking online for advice and found this site, so she decided to share her story. She and her husband have been together for 10 years. Her affair lasted only a few months, but she admits it was thrilling while it lasted. The physical aspect was great, and her AP was a lot of fun to be around. Despite the excitement, she says she has always loved her husband and would never leave him for her AP. Her husband is a wonderful man, but she felt neglected as he was always busy with work as a programmer, so she sought attention elsewhere. Eventually, everything unraveled when her husband followed her to the motel where she and her AP met. Her husband, who had never shown any anger or violence before, transformed into a different person in that motel room. He used to believe that swearing was a sign of a lack of intelligence, but in that moment he was cursing and screaming at her. Then, he got into a physical fight with the AP, who ended up badly bruised. After the fight, he turned to her, and for a moment, she thought he might hit her. Instead, he walked past her, got into his car, and drove away. She called an ambulance for the AP and explained the situation to the police, who informed her that her husband had already turned himself in. Her former AP decided to press charges against her husband despite her pleas. Her husband pleaded guilty and was sentenced to 6 months in jail for the assault. He also had to attend anger management classes. Since his release 5 months ago, he has barely spoken to her, communicating only with their son. He now sleeps on the lower bunk bed in their son's room instead of sharing a bedroom with her, which she finds understandable, but she had hoped he would want to be closer to her after being away for 6 months. She tried to spark his interest by buying new lingerie, but he told her to put on some clothes since their son could walk in at any moment. They got into an argument, and he told her that if it weren't for their son, he would have already filed for divorce. She is looking for advice on whether there is any hope of fixing their marriage or if she is being delusional. My reflections: upon discovering this, I was initially looking for an update to another story we covered recently, where a man walked in on his wife with another man in his own home and tried to fight him but ended up losing. I stumbled upon this one and thought, wow, this is yet another tragic tale. This time, the husband won the fight but ended up going to jail. As I mentioned earlier, I listen to people like TK Kirkland, who often say that in these situations, it's best to just walk away. Look at the first story, where the man ended up badly beaten and later took his own life. It was all downhill from there. Here, the husband beat up the AP but still ended up serving jail time, 6 months that added a criminal record to his name. It wasn't worth it. Confronting her at the motel, getting the proof, and filing for divorce might have been better options. I can't believe she's surprised that he doesn't want anything to do with her now. Why isn't he sleeping in our bed, she wonders. You've been around other men for 6 months, don't you want me? She seems almost arrogant for getting the betrayal. He may never forgive you, and he's only staying for the sake of his son. I'd suggest getting a divorce and arranging shared custody, but it's a tough situation. They were together for 10 years. She never mentioned how long they were married, but that's a significant amount of time. She described him as perfect, but just because he worked long hours to support the family, she felt justified in seeking an affair partner. It's mind-boggling. In both stories, the wives seem shocked by their husbands' reactions to seeing them cheat. Of course, he's not going to be the same nice guy when he catches you in such a compromising position. He will snap, as any reasonable person would. The AP filed charges because he couldn't handle the fact that he got beaten. It's a sad situation, but the husband got 6 months in jail for defending his honor. Let's see what people are saying in the comments. Someone pointed out that she seems clueless about why her husband is angry. Why would he want to be with the woman who caused one of the worst days of his life? The consensus seems to be that she should accept that it's over and let him rebuild his life without her. She clearly broke him beyond repair. Someone else mentioned that buying lingerie wouldn't solve this issue. She was foolish to think so. Another commenter created an account just to say she should divorce him because he hates her, and there's no going back. Another voice added that it's going to take years to heal, and even then, their marriage will never be the same. Therapy might help, but it's a long road ahead. One person emphasized that no woman is worth losing your freedom over. It's clear that for many, the best advice is to just walk away. It's a tough situation, but it seems like that's the only way forward. On that note, I'd love to hear your thoughts. What do you think about this? Let me know in the comments below, and don't forget to check out the other videos I mentioned earlier. See you next time.